Good afternoon. It's December the 27th, not to think there, and weather has cleared. We had storms last night, or a storm last night, with torrential rain and a lot of flooding going on again. Once again, temperatures are reasonable. They're maybe about 9, 8. But that's not what I'm talking to you about this afternoon. Hope you had a good Christmas, by the way. We had a very nice time, family time. So, did you get anything interesting or whatever for Christmas and your presents and whatnot in your big sack at the fireplace? Well, I got a number of presents, and chief amongst them was some books. And if you talk to quite a number of young people today, they don't even read books anymore. They go online and they watch TikTok and stuff like that. I know some of them watch YouTube videos, but they don't watch my channel by and large. They watch the prank type channel, you know, where people pull tricks on each other. So I still enjoy a good read, but I'm very, very selective in what I do read. I haven't got the time to read very much, so I'm not content with reading, you know, just soft stuff. I want something to stimulate me. So this is one of the books I got for Christmas. This is by Mensun Bound, The Ship Beneath the Ice. And it's all about the discovery of Shackleton's endurance ship that went down all those years ago. So what does it say? The story of Shackleton's endurance is one of the most extraordinary in the history of exploration. This is more than just astonishing sequel. More than just an astonishing sequel. It is a take just. Oh boy, sorry about that. It is a tale just as powerful, and one which redefines the meaning of impossible. So there they were, modern day explorers with all the scientific equipment and all the rest of it, and they were looking for the endurance underneath the ice. And it seemed an impossible task. 21st of November 1915, Sir Ernest Shackleton's ship, the Endurance, finally succumbed to the crushing Antarctic ice, and the crew watched in silence. And out of all his men, nobody died. Shackleton remarkably managed to lead them all to safety. And this book here, it tells the story of Shackleton and the Endurance, and how the hardships that those guys went through. And you know, they didn't have all the scientific equipment at their beck and call. They didn't have all the provisions at their beck and call. They didn't have all the equipment, and they didn't have all the boots and stuff that you would wear to keep out the cold today. What these boys wore to the Antarctic was just unbelievable. You know, it wasn't very much different from, you know, their ordinary clothes. How they kept the cold out, I'll never know. So this is written by Mensun Bound, the director of exploration on both expeditions. They had to do 2 expeditions. This captivating narrative includes countless fascinating stories of Shackleton and his legendary ship, complete with a selection of Frank Hurley photographs from Shackleton's original voyage in 1914-17. The Ship Beneath the Ice is the perfect tribute to this monumental discovery. So what are you getting? And I'm about a third the way through. Plenty of photographs. There's them playing football on the ice. And the modern expedition compared to the older quest. There we go. And we have got how many pages? Nearly 400 pages. And that's a wee bit about the author. And I'm gradually getting through this. So what else have I got for you? This one is called Weird Scenes Inside the Canyon. And it's talking about Laurel Canyon, and that's over in America, I guess California, is it? Covert Ops and the Dark Heart of the Hippie Dream. It's written by David McGowan with a foreword by Nick Brandt. So what does it say? Laurel Canyon is in the that was mentioned in the 1960s and 70s, was a magical place where a dizzying array of musical artists congregated to create much of the music that provides the soundtrack to those turbulent times. And all those particular bands that we all know, or many of us know, visited Laurel Canyon at one stage or another, and individual singers and all the rest of it went as well. But there's a dark side to that scene as well. Many didn't make it out of the canyon alive. And Charles Manson was there. Remember Charles Manson? The Helter Skelter murders and Sharon Tate murders. So it's a look at what was actually going on in the canyon, and it was actually a dangerous place. And all the canyon's colourful characters, rock stars, hippies, murderers and politicians were there too, happily coexisted alongside a covert military installation. No. Weird Scenes Inside the Canyon is a very strange but nevertheless true story of the dark underbelly of this hippie utopia. I'm going to look at is an Allied army chaplain and the trial of the Nazis. These are the Nazis that weren't killed or didn't commit suicide on the battlefield or near the battlefield, like what Hitler was supposed to. Many people actually say that Hitler didn't commit suicide, he was spirited away. I don't know whether he was or not. Daily Mail calls it gripping, and it's by Tim Townsend. And I have read, decades ago I read a similar book to this. It was a smaller volume, I have to say. But so this must be the sort of extended version. 1945, the war is over, Hitler's dead, or supposedly dead, and the Allied army chaplain Henry Gurrick receives his most challenging assignment to go to Nuremberg and minister to the 21 imprisoned Nazi leaders awaiting trial for crimes against humanity. And you know, this guy Henry Gurrick talked to these guys and listened to them. These Nazis had sat in Hitler's right hand. Among them were Hermann Göring, Albert Speer, Wilhelm Kettel, Hans, Frank and Ernest Kaltenbrunner. They were the orchestrators and in some cases the direct perpetrators of the most methodical genocide in history. And this book deals with a whole lot of fascinating questions. At least I find it fascinating. You know, what was going through the heads of these guys right throughout the run up to the Second World War, and what happened to the Jews, and you know, and how could this chaplain, you know, how could he preach a gospel of mercy, knowing full well the nature of the atrocities that these people had committed? As the execution dates for each one of them drew near, what comfort could he offer, and what promise of salvation could he make? See, there are people who would tell you, you know, none of these people could be saved. What they did was so atrocious, so beyond the pale, just so far out there. And this book deals with all these kinds of questions. Can someone who's been a mass murderer, can he or she attain or receive salvation and mercy from God? It doesn't seem right, does it? And yet the thief on the cross was, I don't know whether he was a serial killer or whatever he was, but he wasn't a good boy. It seems so unfair. I will find this book fascinating again. These people said that they were just obeying orders, but they ignored morality, and this book deals with their final days. Whether you want to believe that they could gain salvation from a merciful God or not, I mean, that's up to yourself. There is much to ponder and bemoan in this detailed report of the trials, and a brave, kindly pastor moving through the most frightening experience of his life. Is, you know, the whole question is, are some people just too bad to be saved from the Christian point of view? The Bible does say, though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow through the saving, atoning death of Jesus Christ on the cross. But there are many people who would dispute that. So this will be an interesting read. This is the fourth book on my reading list, and the other three were given to me as Christmas presents, but this one wasn't. This one was bought by my friend Peter McCabe. He happened to be in a second-hand shop, a bookshop, and he spotted this, and he said, I wonder would that mad McLean fella, would he be interested in reading the story of Rory Gallagher? And he phoned me up, and I said, you betcha. And so he brought this up to me, and I gave him what he asked for it. I think it was about £6 or something like that. So it's hardback. It's Rory Gallagher, the man behind the guitar, and it's by Julian Vignoles. And I have to say about Rory Gallagher, first of all, Jimi Hendrix was once approached by a music journalist and said, you know, how does it feel to be the world's greatest guitarist? And I was quite surprised at Jimi Hendrix's reply. And Jimi Hendrix replied, and he says, I don't know how it feels to be the world's greatest guitarist. You'd better go and ask Rory Gallagher. You know, some tribute to Rory Gallagher, because Jimi Hendrix was unbelievable. Again, this is many pages has this got. We're talking about 240 pages. Has it got Rory Gallagher, of course, very much wasn't born in Belfast. He was a southerner, but you know, he played in the Ulster Hall so many times that it was almost like his adopted home. That's a beautifully presented book. Rory Gallagher is revered as one of the world's greatest guitarists. He bounded across the stage with the swagger of a rock star, but off stage he was shy. It's not interesting. Unassuming man. There was no wild parties, no marriages and divorces. His short life shifted between the bright lights of his success and the darkness of his personal struggles. Multi-instrumentalist, songwriter, singer and champion of the blues. Career began in a show band scene, followed by 4 years as the central talent of Taste. I used to listen to Taste, one of the great Irish bands. He went on to even greater fame as a solo artist in the 1970s. So, I'm not really a blues patron, but Rory Gallagher has always fascinated me, so I will read this book. So here I am. There's my wee channel up in front of you, and that's what my reading material will be for the next wee while. Dear. Some books I get through quite quickly, other books I struggle to get through. So that's quite four volumes there. That's quite a daunting task. If I'm not interested in a book within the first 50 pages, then I'll put it down and put it away. So I might even tell you how I get on, but that's what I got. 3 of those books are what I got for Christmas. I hope you got some nice books too.